This is how I now prepare my vegetable soup. This vegetable soup was prepared with the use of no oil. It tasted so good. It tasted very delicious that you would have to ask yourself if it was truly prepared without the use of oil. If you want to see how I made this, keep watching to the end and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get right into the video. For this vegetable soup, we're going to be making use of some onions, some Scotch bonnet, and some tatashe, which is called the local red bell peppers. I'm going to be using about 60% of red bell peppers, the local red bell peppers called tatashe, and about 20% of the Scotch bonnet and onions. Onions are very important when making vegetable soup because it just makes vegetable soup to be sweet. And I'm going to be using some dried catfish. You can feel free to use any protein of your choice. I'm going to be using this dried catfish, and this is the seasoning cube of choice that I like to use when I'm making local soups. This is the Terra Golden Cube seasoning. It is very nice. So I blended my pepper mix and I'm just going to be setting this aside. For my protein, I'm going to be using some snails, and I'm just going to boil this. I added some onions, some blended Scotch bonnet, which is called Rodo. I seasoned with some seasoning cube, some powdered garlic and ginger, and a little bit of salt just to taste. I added some water and added some thyme and curry. I actually almost forgot to add this, which is why I'm adding it after I've added the water, and I'm just going to mix this up together. Make sure it mixes very well so that your snail can be very tasty. You don't want a snail that is not tasty. Then after boiling, this took me about 30 minutes till it was soft. I'm just going to set this aside, and I'm going to be using part of this to make the vegetable soup. I also made use of some beef and stockfish. I already boiled this separately and set it aside. So we are making a vegetable soup without oil. On a norm, if you are making the efforiro that we all know, it is your palm oil that is going to go into the pot first, and then you add your onions, your locust beans, and then you fry. But for this one, you are going to be adding your blended pepper into the pot. It is a very straightforward recipe. And then after adding the pepper, you are going to add your protein. I'm adding this protein because it is not completely soft and it's going to soften as I'm cooking the base for this vegetable soup. This is beef and stockfish. I boiled the stockfish and the meat together because I wanted the stockfish to also release its flavor into the stock that I was going to have. After about 15 minutes, I opened it and I'm going to be adding the snails as well, just so that it can cook more with the pepper. I also added this deboned dried catfish that I showed you earlier. I used some hot water to wash it and also soften it, and I added it into the pepper base. I'm going to mix this up together and allow it to cook for about another 2 to 3 minutes. After 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to check for taste. I added some salt and some crayfish. I didn't add another seasoning cube because I added the stock of the meat and the stockfish that I bought, so the stew base was already tasty enough for me. So I just added crayfish and salt. Know that adding crayfish is also like adding like seasoning cube and salt because it has some taste. And after 5 minutes, I'm going to go in with my vegetable. I didn't blanch this vegetable, I just washed thoroughly. I'm making use of Soko, and I'm trying to remember the other vegetable. So I used Soko and tete. So I just added them in bits so that I could mix them properly. I mix this together. It doesn't take time to cook at all because you also don't want to make it cook so long so that it won't be too soft. If it is too soft, you are not going to enjoy it. You still want your vegetable to be crunchy and fresh and have that vibrant color as much as you can have it. And I'm just going to mix this together. This took about 1 to 2 minutes. I just allowed it steam for a bit and it was ready. This vegetable soup was very good. After having a taste of it, I had to ask myself, why do we actually use palm oil, vegetable oil to cook our vegetable soup, because this tasted exactly like the normal eforiro that you are going to cook, that the Yoruba are going to cook. It was very delicious. I had this with rice at different times. It tasted so good, and with the snail, snail is very tasty. It really complemented the meal, and I'm going to try this recipe again and again and again. Let me know what you think about this recipe. Are you going to be trying it out? Please let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video.